The MAGA madness consuming House Republicans was on full display when FBI Director Christopher Wray appeared before the House Judiciary Committee. During Wednesday's hearing, Republicans accused Wray of weaponizing the FBI against conservatives, even though he was appointed by Donald Trump. They also floated all kinds of crackpot conspiracy theories, leaving it to Democrats like my next guest to be the voice of reason on things like the classified documents investigation.
Director Wray, a ballroom, a bathroom, a bedroom, are those appropriate places to store classified, confidential information?
Well, again, I don't want to be commenting on the pending case, but I will say that there are specific rules about where to store classified information and that those need to be stored in a SCIF, a secure compartmentalized information facility. And in my experience, ballrooms, bathrooms, and bedrooms are not SCIFs.
Joining me now is Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, member of the House Judiciary Committee and a former House impeachment manager in Donald Trump's second impeachment trial. Congresswoman, welcome back to the Sunday show. Republicans actually accused the FBI of perpetuating the January 6th investigation, one of their many conspiracy theories with no basis in fact, but it persists. Why is this particular conspiracy theory especially dangerous?
Well, everything that they are doing is dangerous. The attempt to diminish, to demonize, and to try to take down the FBI and the 38,000 folks who faithfully serve us every single day, it's incredibly dangerous. Take a look at the conspiracy theories that they came up with. Attacking Mr. Wray, conspiracies around January the 6th, and was the FBI somehow behind the attack on our Capitol. It is amazingly and grotesquely irresponsible. You heard Matt Gaetz in the hearing say something about, confidence in the FBI has never been lower. Well, that's not true, number one, but they're actually the ones trying to stoke that lacking of confidence. It is very dangerous to our democracy, to our institutions, to our national security, to our security here at home.
And I want to talk about the popularity questions in a moment, but I mean, you were there on January 6th. How galling was it, and is it to you, that fellow Republican members of Congress are still perpetuating a lie?
It's infuriating. It's a very frustrating way of serving. I ask myself every day, why are you folks here? If not to lift up our democracy, if not to lift up our problems and try to solve them. Think of what they did this week, not just with Christopher Wray, but with, we had John Kerry in front of Foreign Affairs Committee. They tried to demonize him when he's actually working on something that matters to this planet, matters to my grandchildren and their children. The protection of us, of our planet against the climate crisis. This demonization, this stoking of fear, this tearing down of institutions, all in support of one man who will be indicted over and over again, who will be held accountable. They are operating out of such weakness and such fear. But as you say, with the lies about January the 6th, the seriousness of that attack and what it could have done to our democracy, this is incredibly dangerous stuff.
Well, speaking of lies about that attack, just have a listen to this exchange between Tucker Carlson and Mike Pence at an event in Iowa on Friday.
So I have to ask you, since you were a witness to and in some unintentional way a participant in one of the most widely covered events in American history, January 6th, what was that? Do you think that was an insurrection?
I've never used the word insurrection, Tucker, over the last 2 years, but it was a riot that took place at the Capitol that day.
I mean, I don't even know what the question here is. To me, it's galling that they are downplaying what happened on January 6th. And that the fact that the former vice president of the United States, whose life was in danger because the people running through the halls of the Capitol were screaming Mike Pence, won't even go so far as to say it's an insurrection. I'll never use the word insurrection, is beyond me. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, galling. It's insane. I don't understand how the vice president hasn't clearly, from the moment it happened and his life was in danger, alongside a family member of his, why he didn't call it what it was, what it continues to have been. It was an insurrection. It was much more than a riot, and it was extraordinarily dangerous for democracy.
I want to switch gears and actually talk with you about the actor and writer strikes that have brought Hollywood pretty much to a standstill. You tweeted out your support, noting that, quote, from writers to actors to Teamsters, demands are consistent, fairness. Congresswoman Dean, why is this an important issue for you?
Well, Jonathan, I don't know if you know this, but my eldest son has been a member of the Writers Guild since 2017, well before I ever got to Congress. He's a TV and screenwriter, and he's on strike. We know that unions built this country. We know that our industry, our entertainment industry, is imitated and admired around the world. And we know there would be no entertainment industry without writers. It's galling to me, to use another word, that the executives of many of these streaming companies and other entertainment industries have huge executive packages, but they don't want to fairly compensate the writers. And now the actors have joined them. It's hypocritical. For example, take a look at Netflix. They put together a executive compensation package in the area of $160 million. You know what it would cost if they actually fairly compensated the writers? But then that would be thousands of folks, not just an executive package. About $100 million less. It is about fairness. It is about fairness to these writers, many of whom do not make these huge sums of money. And so my son remains on strike. I said it's personal. Sometimes I take it a little personally because I'll ask Pat, why don't you answer my text? And he said, Mom, I'm on strike. He's on strike.
Right. Congresswoman, you know, there is this contention out there, and I saw a video this morning from Les Dog, Leslie, formerly of Saturday Night Live, who's taking on this contention out there that there are people saying, oh, you actors and writers, you're all rich, and so all you're doing is you're just trying to get richer. Dispel that notion.
Well, it's just simply not true. Many of these writers don't make big sums of money. Many of the actors don't make big sums of money. And you see in the negotiations that, you know, there's fear that AI will be used for add-in actors in the background so that folks will get very little compensation whatsoever. And there's a whole team of folks around the writers that produce these featured films or streaming programs or television programs. Not everybody's making millions and millions of dollars.